My name is Rahul Soni and I am Program Director at TCS IN Direct Academy channel. I will be your host for today's talk show. On behalf of TCS IN Direct, I welcome you all to the webinar on the topic Careers in Content Writing. Hope you all have watched big shows on television, whether it's film, TV award show, or any big event, maybe related to entertainment, sports, or any other genre. You might have realized one thing, that these shows engage the audience so well that after a few days you feel like to watch the repeat telecast as well. I think same is with the writer and books as well. Some author's book is so good to read that you pick it again and read and you wait for the next published book. So here the important point is the content. In this digital world, we can say content is the king. And with these example, you can imagine कि कंटेंट की क्या इंपॉर्टेंस है, बट अच्छे और सही कंटेंट के साथ साथ उसका प्रेजेंटेशन भी उतना ही इम्पोर्टेंट है. आई थिंक आप सब मेरी बात से एग्री करेंगे कि कंटेंट क्रिएशन के साथ साथ उसकी जो प्रेजेंट करने की जो कला है, जो स्किल है, वो भी उतनी ही इम्पोर्टेंट है. हाउ यू एक्सप्रेस योर वर्ड्स, दैट्स अ इम्पोर्टेंट स्किल. एंड हैविंग दीज स्किल्स, मैनी पीपल हैव चोजन कंटेंट राइटिंग एज देयर career option and they are doing excellent in their life. So to understand more about how you can make career in content writing, its potential, we have invited a very special guest and my dear friend Arpit Vageria, a famous novelist, television writer and an avid reader. Arpit is a scriptwriter by profession and has written TV shows and award functions like Super Fun Day for Star, Kanpur Wale Prana's show for Sunil Grover's script, India's Next Drambebaz Season 2 and 3, सबसे बड़ा कलाकार at Sony TV, Z Cine Awards 2020, The Happy Hour at Z TV, Movie Masti with Manish Paul, Indian Idol 9, सात फेरों की हेरा फेरी at Sun TV. He had also co-written IFA Awards in the year 2016, 2017 and for 18. He had co-written Z Rishte Awards main event in the year 2018 and 2019. He had also co-written So You Think You Can Dance for NTV. He had also written Red Carpet event of Lux Golden Rose Awards, Z Silver Jubilee Awards, and festive events for channels like Star, Sony, Colors, Z, NTV, and Sub TV. Arpit has given talk at many literature festivals like Z Earth 2020 New Delhi, Shimla Literature Festival, Literature, Lito Fest, Khandala Literature Festival, etc. Arpit has also given out motivational talks to inculcate the spark of creativity at some of the best institutes like IIT Jodhpur, IIT Roorkee, and across the country. So once again, warm welcome, Arpit.
Thanks for such a beautiful intro, Rahul.
So let's start the show by asking the first question to Arpit. Please tell us about your journey, how you started your journey as content writer, and कब आपको पता चला कि yes, I can write and मैं इस फील्ड के लिए ही बना.
So my journey with writing started in a very fascinating way, Rahul. I mean, I never thought that I would be a writer someday. मतलब एक वक्त ऐसा था when I would have thought of anything in this world. मैंने शायद ये भी सोचा था किसी वक्त कि मैं साइंटिस्ट बनूंगा. मैंने किसी वक्त सोचा था कि CA बनूंगा. But मैंने कभी ये नहीं सोचा था कि मैं writer बनूंगा. But yes, there was one thing. I always had this interest in reading books. मतलब I mean, come on, you, me, everyone who is there in this call right now with us, हम उस देश का हिस्सा हैं जहाँ पे हम जब पैदा होते हैं तब से लेकर जब तक हम बड़े नहीं हो जाते, हम हमारी दादियों नानियों की कहानियां सुनते रहे. Right? I mean, every day we go to sleep, our granny will always tell us about different stories जो मुझे आज भी याद है, जो मुझे मेरी नानी, जो मुझे मेरे दादा हर कोई सुनाया करता था. So वो I always had that hunger of knowing new stories, hunger of telling this stories. जब भी मुझे कोई सी एक ऐसी स्टोरी पता होती थी जो किसी और को नहीं पता, वो मुझे कहने में बहुत मजा आता. That is how I started enjoying telling stories. But at the same time, I mean, I was doing CA at one point of time. Then I did my MBA. Then I landed up in a job with a bank. So after doing so many things which I probably didn't want to do in my life, I got to know what I actually wanted to do with it. And that was writing. So when I was doing my second job, I realized that, I mean, I somehow just want to move forward into writing industry only. this is something that I really enjoy doing. And writing का जो सबसे पहला idea था वो मुझे आया था मेरे college days, because there used to be guys who always used to impress girls with their guitar skills, with their dancing skills, with their singing skills. I thought that I do not have any of these. So what if, I mean, if I need to have, if I need to probably just have an art in myself, I mean, if I need to probably just go and impress my girlfriend, what would that particular art be? I thought that let me just start it by writing my own love story, and that is how I wrote my first novel. I gifted it to my girlfriend. She was very happy that Arpit has written a book on my on our love story, and that's how it got published. And I'm pretty much an accidental writer, but then I enjoy being it in writing.
Thanks a lot, Arpit, for sharing your journey with us. It's really inspiring and motivating to listen to you and taking the learnings from your life, from your journey. That's really incredible. Thank you. Thank you. So coming to the next question, Arpit, we want to know from you about the various aspects of content writing. Also, if you can highlight the avenues and the opportunities जो आज के digital world में students explore कर सकते हैं. I can see there are numerous opportunities. So please share your views.
So Rahul, I mean, there are different forms of writing. Like I generally write for TV shows and I do novel writing as well. So these are two forms of writing that I generally do, but they are very different from each other. And if I need to talk about television writing or film writing for that matter, there are three different bifurcations for that. One is a storytelling with story writing. Another one is a screenplay writing. Third and the last is dialogue writing. So these are different forms of writing only for television and films and web, digital content, OTT platform, आजकल जितना भी content हम लोग देखते हैं. Novel writing is a completely different art. इसके अंदर ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं होता कि पहले स्टोरी फॉलो की जाएगी, फिर स्क्रीन पे फॉलो किया जाएगा, फिर डायलॉग को फॉलो किया जाएगा. नहीं. Everyone who generally writes novel, they do have their own style of writing. But at the same time, टेलीविजन लिखने का एक अलग मजा है, नॉवेल लिखने का एक अलग मजा है, फिल्म राइटिंग करने का एक अलग मजा है. बट हमको लगता है कि शायद यही कुछ एक चीजें हैं जो राइटिंग हमारे लिए डिफाइन करती है. नो, देयर इज लॉट ऑफ राइटिंग व्हिच स्टिल एग्जिस्ट इन द वर्ल्ड. आजकल आप सोशल मीडिया के ऊपर देखो कि देयर आर सोशल मीडिया इन्फ्लुएंसर्स हु राइट एंड दे डू अर्न मनी आउट ऑफ इट एज वेल. Say that if they are promoting the brand, they do write it, they do promote it over social media. And at the same time, journalists जो होते हैं, they are also writing. कुछ डिजिटल जर्नलिस्ट होते हैं, कुछ लोग होते हैं जो कि आपका टेलीविजन जर्नलिस्ट होते हैं, और कुछ लोग होते हैं जो प्रिंट के लिए लिखना पसंद करते हैं. Like you would know it better than me, Rahul. But then जो प्रिंट मीडिया के अंदर भी लिखने के लिए आप, that is also a career. People do write articles for newspaper on a regular basis. हम सभी कहीं ना कहीं जैसे अलग अलग न्यूज़पेपर्स होते हैं पढ़ते हुए आए, हम उसके अंदर कुछ एक कॉलम्स देखते हैं कि इनकी कलम से. तो वो सारी चीजें जो है वो प्रोफेशनल राइटर्स उन चीजों को लिखते हैं. I have not ever tried print media writing as of now, but then there's a career in print media as well. So lots and lots of different forms of writing which is there. But people generally like writing for TV because it gives you good amount of money. People generally write for novel because it gives you enormous amount of independence, because there's no one who is going to stop you from writing whatever you want to write. It's the case with television. आपको television के अंदर there are so many takers, which are producers, directors, channel. वो आपको बोलेंगे कि ये आप चीजें लिख सकते हैं, ये चीजें आप नहीं लिख सकते because this particular chunk is not suitable for our audience. ये सारी चीजें television के अंदर होती है. तो कई बार होती है उसके अंदर कि नहीं, आप ये नहीं कर सकते, आप ये नहीं कर सकते. There are so many hurdles into that. But that's not the case with novel writing. And that is why I enjoy novel writing more than television writing or anything else. तो novel writing के अंदर पूरी की पूरी आजादी है. जो आप लिखना चाहो, जहां से, जिस तरीके से, जिसके बारे में लिखना चाहो, you have all the freedom to do that. So these are some of different forms of writing.
Thank you, Arpit, for explaining the various aspects of content writing. So you talked about different forms. Basically, you can be social media influencer also. You can write
Absolutely.
for TV, films. You can be a journalist, or you can publish your own book, right? Like you are doing. Right?
Absolutely. So there are many people who do not want to get published via any or other publisher. So they would be like, we'll take care of our own distribution, we'll do our own book launches, we'll promote it through our own marketing skills, and then we'll self-publish it. So that's how it works nowadays. बहुत लोग अपने आप को भी publish करते हैं.
Thank you, Arpit. So coming to the next question, what makes you write so well, and what are the key skills which are required for content writing? Because I think we have seen such students from the school level, वो लोग लिखना start कर देते हैं, then they publish their book at UG or PG level. So can you please guide on what are the skill sets which are needed for content writing and how they can work on that?
That's a beautiful question, Rahul, because I personally believe that we need to have lots and lots of skills to write any sort of novel. जैसे कि हम कहते हैं ना कि प्यार करने की कोई उम्र नहीं होती, वैसे ही मैं कहता हूँ कि लिखने की भी कोई उम्र नहीं होती. आप क्या लिख रहे हैं वो मायने रखता है. So basically say that if someone is 15 years old, if someone is 15 years old, nobody can go to him or her and say that you cannot write, you are just 15 years old. No, ऐसा नहीं होता है. 8 साल वाला भी लिख सकता है, 80 साल वाला भी लिख सकता है. बस आपके अंदर वो स्किल्स होनी चाहिए. और जिस बारे में आपने पूछा, I think the first and foremost skill that one should be having to write a novel is to be a great reader. I mean, people should know that without reading, you cannot be a great writer at all. Forget about great writer. You cannot even be an average writer if you are not a great reader. I mean, till the time you have not... I'll just give you a random example. हम लोग देखते हैं कि महेंद्र सिंह धोनी जाता है, वो वर्ल्ड कप खेल के जिता भी, राइट? अगर उसने वो प्रैक्टिस ही नहीं की होती तो क्या वो लास्ट बॉल के ऊपर 6 मार पाता? नहीं. क्या युवराज सिंह जिस तरीके से उन्होंने वर्ल्ड कप में परफॉर्म किया था, क्या वो कर पाता? नहीं कर. For that, you need to have years and years of practice, and that's how. That's why I'm telling you that to be a great writer, you need to be a great reader. Doesn't matter what you are reading. I mean, we live in the world where people say that you should be reading English novels. You shouldn't be reading Hindi novels. मैंने कई लोगों को ऐसा बोलते हुए सुना है. I think it doesn't make any sense. स्टोरी की कोई लैंग्वेज थोड़ी होती है. स्टोरी तो स्टोरी होती है. कोई कन्नड़ में वो स्टोरी सुना रहा होगा और उसे मजा आ रहा होगा, कोई हिंदी के अंदर वो वाली स्टोरी सुना रहा होगा, उसे बहुत अच्छा लग रहा होगा, कोई इंग्लिश के अंदर उस स्टोरी को कहीं और सुना रहा होगा, अच्छा लगेगा. स्टोरी इज अ स्टोरी. Do not ever bound it with the language. And if you're not very comfortable with English, go and read Hindi story. If you're not comfortable with even Hindi, you can probably pick up your own regional language and can read an entire story out of it. So reading is very important. That is the first point. Second, observation is very important. When you're writing about a particular character, that doesn't mean writing few lines. It also means that you have observed that particular character so well कि जब कोई उस कैरेक्टर के बारे में पढ़ेगा तो उनको ये चीज लगेगी कि यार ये कैरेक्टर एकदम मेरे सामने बैठा है. अगर मैं फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं किसी एक TCS के कॉर्पोरेट एम्प्लॉय के ऊपर कोई स्टोरी लिखना चाहूँ, लेकिन मुझे पता ही नहीं कि कॉर्पोरेट कल्चर क्या है, उनके जॉब टाइमिंग्स क्या होते हैं, उनका अपने बॉस के साथ में रिलेशनशिप कैसा होता है, I would never be able to write a character. I would never be able to write a story which is based on a corporate character. So one should be very observant about whatever is happening around the world. अगर आप समझें कि आप यहाँ से लेकर 10 किलोमीटर दूर तक एक ऑटो में भी जा रहे हैं ना, there would be at least 20 things that you would be able to observe, which is going to help you out in your writing skills later on. And I mean, I do have a different way of observing as well. So मुझे जो भी आज तक जो मुझे लगता है कि अच्छे आइडियाज आए हैं, उनमें से more than 50% of the ideas have come from my own dream. जब मैं रात को सोता हूँ 11-12 बजे के बाद में कई बार सपने आते हैं. And you would have observed that when you get a dream and when you get up the next morning, you have completely forgotten about the dream that you have seen last night, right? कई बार ऐसा होता है. So what I do is I make pointers. मुझे अभी सपना आया रात को 3 बजे, मैंने उठा, उसके बाद में मैंने कुछ पॉइंटर्स नोट किए कि दिस इज व्हाट आई हैव सीन, बिकॉज़ आई नो बाय द टाइम आई गेट अप आई विल प्रोबब्ली फॉरगेट अबाउट दिस ड्रीम. सो आई मेक दिस पॉइंटर्स एंड व्हेन आई गेट अप इन द मॉर्निंग एंड आई थिंक अबाउट इट, आई इलैबोरेट इट कि यार ये मैंने देखा था सपने में. एंड राहुल, यू वोंट बिलीव, मेरी स्टोरी के अंदर आज तक जितने भी ब्यूटीफुल सीन्स आए ना, मोर देन 50-60% ऑफ द सीन्स आर इंस्पायर्ड फ्रॉम माय ओन ड्रीम, रैंडम ड्रीम्स दैट आई हैव सीन. क्योंकि आपको ड्रीम्स कई बार वो चीजें दिखा देता है जो आप लैपटॉप के सामने बैठकर भी सोच रहे होंगे ना, you won't be able to write, it's so beautiful. So dream is like a screenplay, it's like a movie going on. और वो चीज को जब आप लिखते हो तो वो आपके राइटिंग के अंदर दिख जाता है. एंड ऑल्सो अनदर थिंग दैट पीपल शुड बी ऑब्जर्वेंट अबाउट इज एक्सपीरियंस. आपका जो भी एक्सपीरियंस कहता है, से दैट आई एम कमिंग फ्रॉम अ बैक, आई बिलोंग टू इंदौर, I'm living in Mumbai, so I do have an experience of being a small towny guy, and now who is living in Mumbai from last 10 to 12 years. So it's a journey of mine. I would have learned so many things in this last 10-12 years. ये सारे एक्सपीरियंस अगर मैं अपनी राइटिंग के अंदर डालता हूँ तो लोग पढ़ते भी हैं और उनको मजा भी है. So these are certain things that people should really focus on.
That's really interesting, Arpit. Actually, you talked about ki reading is very important, and second thing, the observation to work on the content writing skills. So, a very interesting question is coming from what I can name V. Varathi. How many obstacles you got, sir, to reach your goal?
Many obstacles. And I think I have started enjoying my obstacles after a certain point of time, because I knew that there is no other choice. मुझे पता है कि जब तक मैं अपने obstacles से दूर भागता रहूंगा वो तो मेरे पीछे आएंगे ही आएंगे. तो मैं सोचा क्यों ना एंजॉय किया जाए, जब इसे फेस करना ही है तो थोड़े मजे लिए जाए, थोड़ा अच्छे से फेस किया जाए, थोड़ा बताया जाए कि मेरे अंदर भी थोड़ा सा दम है. तो ऑब्स्टिकल्स तो आते हैं और मैं कई बार ऑब्स्टिकल्स का अब मैं जेन्युइनली इंतजार करता हूँ. आपको लग रहा होगा कि मैं शायद कहने के लिए कह रहा हूँ, लेकिन नहीं, जेन्युइनली मैं करता हूँ. क्योंकि जब तक आपके पास में नया ऑब्स्टिकल नहीं आता ना, आप एक लेवल अप नहीं करते, और उस लेवल अप को करने के लिए आपको आपके ऑब्स्टिकल को फेस करना बहुत जरूरी है. आई जस्ट गिव यू सर्टेन एग्जांपल्स. मुझे सबसे पहले मुझे ये कहा गया था व्हेन आई वाज doing my MBA and I was in my post graduation college. So one of the person just told me that Arpit, you do not have a great English. I mean, how can you even write? So I said, okay, I mean, I know that I do not have a great English, but I do have sense of English, and I do have this enthusiasm of learning the language. I at least have storytelling abilities. So I started working on it. तो तब मैं बहुत शुरू के अंदर में बहुत ज्यादा डिसअपॉइंट हो गया था कि यार मुझे किसी ने कह दिया मैं लिखूंगा कैसे. बट देन आई स्टार्टेड वर्किंग ऑन माई सेल्फ. आई न्यू दैट इट्स ऑलवेज गुड टू नो कि आप कहाँ पर लैक करते हो, बिकॉज टिल द टाइम यू डू नॉट नो इट, यू वोंट बी एबल टू वर्क अप. जब आपको पता है कि मेरे अंदर कमी है तो करो ना काम उसको. सेकंड ऑब्स्टिकल वाज टू फाइंड माय फर्स्ट पब्लिशर. व्हेन I just left my first corporate job just like that. No, I do not want to do it. I do not want to get up by the Monday morning, and I do not want to go to 9 to 7 वाला job जो कई बार रात को 9 बजे तक वो होता था. I do not want customers yelling at me. So I just left my job like that. And I was very disappointed with my decision after a couple of months. I thought that यार अब तो savings भी नहीं है मेरे पास में, मैं करूँ तो क्या करूँ. So मैंने सोचा कि probably this is the right time and I should actually focus more on my writing, because this is why I left my job. So I started sending my proposals to different publishers, and they started rejecting it. And after 1 year and 8 months, I think, one of the publishers showed interest in my book. And the best thing that I have done in those 1 year, 8 months, I wrote down 3 more novels. So I mean, somehow I was like, if I'm not doing anything else, if I'm not doing a job, let me work upon the craft. So I started reading more and more. I started working on more novels because I knew आज पब्लिश नहीं हो रही है, लेकिन जब पब्लिश होगी तो मेरे पास में लिखने का समय नहीं. और वो ही हुआ. I was so glad that I wrote those 3 different novels which kept on getting published in 2017-18. And yeah, so obstacles will come and go, but always remember that it's just a phase, good or bad, it's just going to go away. And wait for the obstacles. You are going to kick it. That's what I do.
That's really great. Nice to listen you, Arpit, about the obstacles and कैसे आपने obstacles and challenges को opportunities में change कर लिया. That's the important thing, and that's the biggest takeaway right now what we are having. So I can see many questions from audience, many questions. So I want to take one more question before my question. So
Yes,
from Mr. Sachin, I too write stories, but they are very short. How can I extend it? Or there are any opportunities? I want to add one more question to this. somebody is writing short stories, so they have any opportunities in any sector of content writing?
Absolutely, and I think the time is yours now. Because people nowadays do not have a great attention span nowadays. So if you are good at writing short stories, I would suggest you to focus on short stories as of now. Maybe after a couple of years' time, you would have a story in your head which would probably go till 50,000 words of manuscript. Why do you want to make a short story into an entire novel? No, you already have a beautiful story. नॉवल के अंदर हमेशा एक चीज ध्यान रखना कि आपके पास में 5,000 शब्दों की कुछ एक स्टोरी, तो जरूरी नहीं कि उसको 50,000 तक लेकर जाओ, आप उस स्टोरी को स्ट्रेच कर रहे हो। शायद उस स्टोरी का ग्रेट पोटेंशियल है सिर्फ 5,000 वर्ड्स तक होने का। अगर आप उसको 50,000 वर्ड्स बनाने जाएंगे तो शायद वो टूट जाएगा। मतलब वो हो जाएगा जो वो बटर नान होती है ना, जिसको आप आधे घंटे के बाद में खींचने की कोशिश करते हो, वैसा मत करो। आई मीन just keep it as a short story and you have great potential. So you have a great future. I mean, if your question is this कि short stories के अंदर potential है या नहीं है, you have a tremendous amount of potential.
Thank you, Arpit. Hope Sachin has got his answer. So coming to the next question, we talk about the education format in content writing. So please highlight on the required education or the courses which are available for content writing. और कहाँ से बेसिकली हम लोग इस चीज का आइडिया लगा सकते हैं या उसको सीख सकते हैं कंटेंट राइटिंग, इफ यू वांट टू थ्रो सम लाइट ऑन दैट?
So Rahul, there are many institutes nowadays in India which allows you to join their course, which is related to screenwriting, playwriting. There are many institutes. One of the best is FTII Pune for sure. They do conduct writing examinations first of all, followed by an interview basis on which you will be selected, but the selection criteria is very hard. From what I have heard, there are lakhs of people who apply in FTII Pune every year. There are only 20 to 50 people who get selected. So that's how it works with FTII. And apart from that, there are different institutes. Xavier's provide, Jamia Millia, they provide. I mean, talking about FTII, they distribute forms at about February, March, and you have your exams in a couple of months from then. So by April or May, you give your exams followed by an interview, and if you are selected, you are lucky enough, you can do your 2 years of masters from FTII. I would always suggest to gain an experience in writing first, and then probably apply for such great institutes. Then the criteria of getting selected is even more high. Apart from that, Xavier's provide the mass communication courses. They do provide creative writing courses, and if you have decent amount of money to spend, you can fly to US, New York Film Academy. They do provide great amount of courses. They give you 2 years of masters, 3 years of masters, different sort of writing courses, screenplay writing, story writing, playwriting, creative writing. All of those would be covered in one particular syllabus. So that's there. One of the best institutes that we have in world is University of Southern California. So you have all of the information regarding that available over the internet, and it will be easily accessible, but it's one of the best. If you can get through it, nothing like it. You will definitely be coming back with the tons and tons of knowledge. So these are some of the institutes, but if you want an easy admission, you can probably try Anupam Kherka Institute, which is there in Santa Cruz, Mumbai. They do provide you 3 months or 4 months of diploma, is what I have heard. And then there are many different institutes as well. So these are some of the institutes I know of. Whistling Woods is also there, but they do charge bomb fees. I think good amount of money they ask for. So these are some of the institutes that you can try for. But having said that, if you do not have the budget, let me just give you a tip of motivation. I was never, I never actually followed this kind of courses anytime in my life. मैंने कभी भी कोई भी कोर्स नहीं किया है। मैंने जो भी चीजें सीखी हैं खुद से ही सीखी हैं, लिखते लिखते सीखी है, और मुझे ये लगता है, एंड आई एम सेइंग दैट विद प्राइड, कि आप लिखते लिखते जितना खुद से सीखोगे वो एक अलग लेवल की एक्सपीरियंस होगा. Say that if you are writing for 2 to 3 years, you have assisted some writers in TV, films, or novel writing, you have 2 to 3 years of experience, and when you have also earned decent amount of money with you, then you should be applying for this institute. आपका सिलेक्शन का क्राइटेरिया भी थोड़ा इजी होगा. एट द सेम टाइम यू वुड ऑलरेडी नो कि जिस वर्ल्ड के अंदर मैं कदम रखना चाह रहा हूँ, जिसके अंदर मैं अपना करियर बनाना चाह रहा हूँ, मैं ऑलरेडी उस वर्ल्ड के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत कुछ जानता हूँ. बट ऑलवेज लुक आउट फॉर योर पॉकेट व्हेनेवर यू आर स्पेंडिंग एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ मनी. क्योंकि कई बार फीस 30-40 लाख की होती है और रिटर्न्स जो होते हैं वो इतनी जल्दी नहीं आते. बट you join institute or not, I'm telling you, if you have the zeal, this enthusiasm, you are definitely going to be a great writer, for sure. Telling it from my experience.
How does a career as an author or content writer serves? Apart from writing novels, you have also written so many entertainment or sports shows. So please tell us about the content writing remuneration part and how does the career graph look like in this field?
So Rahul, one need to be really patient enough. If one need to be really patient enough if they want to get into writing as a career, because बाहर से ये लगता है कि it's glamour, you would get into an industry, you would be recognized, आपके next दिन से newspapers के अंदर interview होंगे. ऐसा नहीं होता है, क्योंकि there's a lot of hard work which goes behind it. So, and in terms of remuneration, it's very difficult for starting few years. I would give you my own example because I've been through that. I started writing when I was not even 20. तो मैंने तब से लिखना स्टार्ट कर दिया था, और जब मैंने लिखना स्टार्ट किया था तो मैंने पैसों के बारे में नहीं सोचा था कि मैं कितना पैसा से कमा लूँ. But I knew that I'm going to write more and more love stories in the future. So I have written 6 novels till date. 3 of them is Hindi translated and it's also getting translated in other languages. बट मैंने असली पैसा नॉवेल्स में चौथे या पांचवी बुक के बाद में कमाना स्टार्ट. तब तक ये होता है कि आप who are you? Why would 130 crore Indians would read you? You need to register yourself कि हाँ मैं भी एक राइटर हूँ, लोग मुझे भी पढ़ना पसंद करेंगे. उसके लिए आपको सबसे पहले ऐसी स्टोरीज के साथ में आना पड़ता है जो लोग पढ़े और जन्मों जन्मों तक याद रखें. वो चीज बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. If your first novel is a hit, then there is a chance of you making money after 2 to 3 novels. It starts with as low as 4 to 5% of royalty. Say that if someone is selling their book in 200 rupees, शायद आपको 8 या 10 रुपया मैक्सिमम मिलेगा starting couple of books. और अगर आपकी बुक अच्छी वर्क करती है तब जाकर आपका रॉयल्टी का परसेंटेज बढ़ता है. जैसे कि नाउ आई गेट अबाउट 15% ऑफ द एमआरपी. So that if my book is of 200 rupees, so I get about 30 rupees on my book का सेल. कि समझे कि अगर मेरी 1 लाख बुक्स बिकी हैं तब जाकर मुझे 30 लाख मिलेगी. लेकिन ये चीजें आपकी 6ठी या 7वीं या 8वीं या 10वीं नॉवेल्स के ऊपर आकर आपको रेट मिलेगी. So if you are writing novel, I would always suggest you to show your interest into other forms of writing as well, which can pay you quicker, like how I did. TV pays you good amount of money, but TV is also not an easy career to opt for. I mean, nothing is easy in this world, but TV gives you quick money. आपको नॉवल के अंदर 1 साल के अंदर एक बार रॉयल्टी मिलती है. टेलीविजन के अंदर अगर आपका शो चलता जा रहा है तो आप 2-3 साल का आपके पास में एक्सपीरियंस है, तो then you start earning good amount of money. I mean, say that there are different production houses. वो आपको in-house writer की तरह वहाँ पर रखेंगे, आपको वहाँ पर वो तैयार करेंगे, एक बेसिक सैलरी देंगे 25 से 50,000 रुपए. Once you have about 2 to 3 years of good experience and you know that you can pull off an entire show on your own capability, आपको लगता है मैं अकेले से पूरा शो संभाल सकता हूँ, prove yourself, let people know about your work, and TV pays you good amount of money. आपको एक एपिसोड तक का in fiction writing, and for one form of writing, be it story writing, screenplay writing or dialogue writing, 50 से 60,000 रुपए तक मिलता है आपको एक एपिसोड. Once you are a little old into the industry, people love your work, people know you by name and they are like, नहीं यार अर्पित से ही लिखवाना है वो, and तो इस किस्म का पैसा मिलने लग जाता है. And once you are like 5-7 years old and you are like pro into this industry, you can earn as good as 5 to 10 lakh rupees per month. That's the kind of amount television gives you, but there's a lot of struggle. हजारों राइटर्स हैं जो हर रोज एक शो को पाना चाहते हैं. So I would again suggest, even if you want to get into television writing, do your homework just fine, and do not expect big monies from day one. Give yourself 3 to 4 years. उसके बाद में पैसा भी मिलना शुरू.
Thank you, Arpit. Rightly said. It's a very fascinating and glamorous field. So sometimes people think, okay, we can directly enter into this field. But you have cleared all the doubts which our audience were asking. So coming to the next question, you talked about all the things, your journey, all the aspects of content writing, कैसे हम लोग डिजिटल वर्ल्ड में एंटर होके इस फील्ड में कैरियर अच्छा बना सकते हैं. Then you talked about remuneration also. But apart from this, behind the scenes, time management is also important game here. So आप अपना टाइम कैसे मैनेज करते हैं?
It's very difficult to manage the time between the two, and to be very frank, कई बार मैं भी फेल होता हूँ वो करने में. कि टाइमलाइंस होती हैं टेलीविजन के अंदर, टाइमलाइंस ऐसी होती है कि आज एपिसोड आया है, स्टोरी आई है, आपको कल तक डायलॉग्स करके देने, कल तक आपको स्क्रीन प्ले करके देने. सो जब आप टेलीविजन शोज कर रहे होते हो, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट दैट यू डू एनीथिंग एल्स असाइड विद. तो तब ये टाइम मैनेजमेंट वाली स्किल्स बहुत ज्यादा काम आती है. तो व्हाट आई जनरली डू इज आई ऑलवेज स्टिक टू माय डेडलाइंस. दैट्स व्हाट आई ट्राई. मैं जब भी कुछ चीज लिखने के लिए बैठता हूँ टीवी की, तो मैं ये सोचता हूँ कि अगर मैं 4 बजे लिखने के लिए बैठा हूँ तो रात को 10 बजे तक मैं कंप्लीट कर लूँ. तो मैं मॉर्निंग और रात के बीच में अपने टाइम को कई बार डिवाइड करता हूँ कि मैं शाम से लेकर रात तक में अपना टीवी का काम सबसे पहली प्रायोरिटी में फिनिश करूंगा, बिकॉज कल शूट होना है, परसों शूट होना है. और मॉर्निंग में 6 बजे उठकर आई गिव अ कपल ऑफ आवर्स टू माय माइंड. दैट्स हाउ आई जनरली डू. आई फेल एट इट एट टाइम्स, बट देन देयर इज अनदर फॉर्मूला दैट आई जनरली गो बाय. कि जब I keep 3 to 4 months for myself in the entire year when I am not doing any sort of television shows, मैं तब पूरी तरीके से अपनी नॉवेल को समय देता हूँ और 3 से 4 महीने के अंदर मैं सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपनी नॉवेल लिख पाता हूँ, या फिर कुछ छोटे मोटे से टेलीविजन शोज which does not demand much of my time, मैं वो चीज करता हूँ. बट it's very important to manage your time when you are doing 2 different forms of writing together. It's like how you manage sports and studies alongside. कि आपको स्कूल के अंदर, कॉलेज के अंदर खेलना भी है, आपको स्टडीज भी करनी है, आपको दोस्तों के साथ घूमने भी जाना है. इट्स जस्ट लाइक दैट. एट टाइम्स यू हैव टू चूज वन, बट इफ यू आर स्मार्ट you will manage it somehow. So that's how I do. I'm not a great time manager, but I think I'm just getting there.
If we talk about the expectation from the employer or the companies for content writing positions, so if you can highlight something about the expectations or the extra skill or expertise which individual can have, and it may help him to enter into any organization.
I think you need to be different from the lot. जैसे मेरे केस के अंदर मुझे ये पता है टेलीविजन के अंदर there are not many television writers who also write novels. So that's an added advantage that I have over others. किसी को लगता है अच्छा यार ये टीवी लिखता है, अच्छी बात. पता चलता है कि यार पे नॉवेल्स भी लिखता है, 6 नॉवेल्स, अच्छा बेस्ट सेलिंग है, और यार इसको बुलाओ. तो ये मेरा एक्स्ट्रा एडेड एडवांटेज है जो मैंने खुद के लिए क्रिएट किया है. वो आपके अंदर क्या है वो आप डिसाइड. क्या आप एक बहुत अच्छा डायरेक्शन माइंड भी है आपका? क्या आप राइटर होने के साथ साथ में आप थोड़ा डायरेक्ट भी कर सकते हो चीजों को? कैन यू विजुअलाइज व्हाट यू आर राइटिंग? कैन यू मेक अदर पीपल विजुअलाइज व्हाट यू आर राइटिंग? और अगर आप वही चीज आपके इंटरव्यू के दौरान अगर आप ये चीज दिखा देते तो वो आपको बाकी लोगों से अलग खड़ा करता. एट द सेम टाइम, जैसे कि मैंने सबसे पहले क्वेश्चन में कहा था कि अगर आप बहुत अच्छे रीडर हो ना तो आप ऑलरेडी बाकी के लॉट से बहुत अलग, क्योंकि इंडिया के अंदर नॉट इवन 1% ऑफ द ऑडियंस रीड्स. बहुत कम ऑडियंस ऐसी है जो पढ़ती है. अगर आप रीड करते हो तो आपको कुछ अलग से करने की जरूरत नहीं. आप सिर्फ कहोगे, आप बात करोगे और लोगों को पता चलेगा कि यू आर बेटर देन अदर्स. सो रीड लॉट्स, जस्ट मेक इट योर मंत्र. अगर आप दिन में 10 पेजेस भी पढ़ रहे हो ना, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. बट व्हाई आई एम फोकसिंग दिस थिंग अगेन एंड अगेन इज बिकॉज इट्स गोइंग टू हेल्प यू आउट अ लॉट व्हेन you would be working for TV और फिल्म इंडस्ट्री और आपको बहुत आइडियाज की जरूरत होगी. कई बार आप लैपटॉप के सामने बैठे रहेंगे तो आप ब्लैंक नहीं होंगे, बिकॉज यू हैव रेड सो मच, यू हैव everything stored over here, you have many ideas because you have educated yourself over the years. So read and read. That is definitely going to help you out in your interview and in your writing skills. That, I mean, you will be the one जो बाकी के lot से बहुत अलग लगेगा. Please do that.
Coming to the last question, please share your final remarks and suggestions for students or the writers basically who want to aspire in this field.
There's one suggestion I would like to give to all of them is be very patient, because इस इंडस्ट्री के अंदर कुछ भी चीज जल्दबाजी में नहीं होती. Neither in publishing nor in TV or film. और अगर वो जल्दबाजी में हो रही तो आप सोचिए कि कुछ गलत होगा. क्योंकि धीरे धीरे कर ही आप एक एक स्टेप चढ़ोगे तो उसका मजा भी अलग होगा, and you will be able to learn lots and lots of things. And be patient. You will get habitual of it. Just keep working upon it. Read lots of stuff, watch lots of stuff, and जब भी आप बुक्स पढ़ने के लिए जाओ ना, तो ये मत सोचना कि अरे इस ऑथर का नाम नहीं पढ़ा है तो ये तो क्या ही अच्छा होगा। नहीं, कई बार आपको बहुत अच्छी चीजें मिलती हैं आपने जिनका नाम भी नहीं सुना। तो always look out for different stories. Always keep questioning yourself ki am I doing enough to get into this field? Also know that we are living in a country which has about 130 crore people, and out of those 130 crore people, at least 10 to 20 crore people want to get into the film industry. So competition is stiff. Keep preparing yourself for it, and always listen to your heart कि जो दिल कहता है ना कि यार ये करना चाहिए, कर जाओ, क्योंकि कई बार दिमाग वो चीजें नहीं कह पाता। तो ऑलवेज फॉलो योर हार्ट, follow your dreams, and keep working towards it on a daily basis. Read lots and lots of good stuff.
So, and now a big thank you to Arpit for your opinion and key insights sharing with us today.
Thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you so much for having me over here. It was a pleasure talking with you again. And
So,
thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you so much, TCS.
So thanks a lot, Arpit. Thank you. We appreciate you making time in your busy schedule to speak to our participants. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure being with you today. We wish you all a great success in your endeavor. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. See you. Bye.